We went at like a 9:40 movie on a Monday night.
I enjoyed hanging.
There was no one in the movie theater at all. It was just
crickets.
us. And so
I was in the theater. I was in my seat. I was talking like this. There was no one in the theater.
Full volume.
It was phenomenal.
It was
phenomenal.
I love when the movie theater's like that. I don't give a shit if nobody's there. I walked in there, I was like, this place is closed. I don't think we're going to be able to get a movie ticket.
yeah.
I'll never be able to do that again.
There was one person working.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pissed off guy, too.
You know what I didn't love? The movie.
I didn't love the popcorn. It was a little, not to my standards, I think.
They made that shit 3 hours ago.
Yeah, it was a bit old.
Yeah.
I was tight about it.
That's why I gotta add the butter, though.
Oh, yeah.
Softens it up a little bit.
Man, my fingers were greasy out.
That's why I grabbed
I was licking-
1,600 napkins.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of this? I'll let you go first before I get into this.
So you want to go first?
Do I want to go first?
Sure.
I'll pop off if you want. Yeah, I'll go first.
Just go for
first
it.
of
Pop
all,
off.
my rating, ironically though, I still didn't like the movie, but ironically my rating for it moved up a little bit from what I thought it was. I think I guessed 6.3
Mm-hmm.
for my starting guess. I bumped it up to a 6.7
All right.
because at times my rationale was it kept me guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that in a movie. It's
Yeah.
nice.
You
It
don't
was
know
outer
what's coming.
space. You really don't know what's coming. And speaking of which, there's a part in that movie that ain't nobody saw coming, which we'll talk about.
Reminder, this is a spoiler review, folks. So if you don't want to see this, skip towards the end of the video.
But space movies are never really my jam, unless it's a superhero outer space movie like we're going to see in Phase 4 kind of stuff. But I bumped it up. It kept me guessing at points and stuff. I still didn't love it. It wasn't a perfect movie, but it wasn't a god-awful movie, in my opinion. So I guess those are my thoughts, but I don't know. What do you want me to dive into the details of it before you guys go?
What do you think of the acting? We'll start with that.
I thought that...
Yeah, we'll go topic
Yeah.
by topic.
Yeah.
I thought Brad Pitt...
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say... Because I agree. I'm going to say something along the lines. I think he was not as Brad Pitt as he could have been in a role, if that makes sense. Brad Pitt's a phenomenal actor. He didn't show it here. It was almost like he was struggling to read the lines in the script, and it was almost like he knew that it was kind of shit. And he was like, damn, okay.
It felt like he wasn't into the character at all.
Brad Pitt was stale bread in this movie. He was just hard, crunch, bore, dumb.
And maybe that was the writing. Maybe it's not his fault.
Yeah.
But, regardless, that still makes for kind of a crappy film.
Well, I would say that it probably was the writing, right? I think Brad Pitt, he's not a bad actor by any stretch of the
Glorious
imagination.
Bastards.
Right.
Still haven't seen it.
I think most of the blame probably should fall on the writing and maybe not on Brad
Who
Pitt.
directed this movie?
But yeah, to your point, what's a fair statement? The character that Brad Pitt played was stale bread, was incredibly boring.
Right. And maybe Brad Pitt met that mark, but it's not what us three wanted.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
A
when you think...
space adventure movie like this was entitled to be, dude, the protagonist was, here we go, I'm moving on to Mars now.
When you think about it, when you think of Brad Pitt...
On to Jupiter.
You think of...
Sound like Bill Belichick. That's how Brad Pitt was in this movie. If you know Bill Belichick, you know how quick to the point he is with things and how much he does not show emotion, and that was Brad Pitt in this movie.
When you think of Brad Pitt, you think of good movies with good acting and good directing. That just wasn't this movie. It was almost like Brad Pitt, and he's not poor by any stretch of the imagination, but it was almost like he took a job as an actor in a movie where he didn't really feel it, and he was just like, gotta make a few bucks.
You know what I think happened?
I'll read the lines.
Here's what I think happened. The writing, I think, was not good.
Yeah.
I think that the writers just kind of said they were banking on the fact that, all right, we got Brad Pitt in this movie, it's an instant hit.
Right, yeah.
Whoa!
Jesus,
sorry,
dude.
folks.
Almost knocked over the liquor there. That wouldn't have been
Fell
good.
through the wall there.
Shut
I
up.
think I pulled a muscle.
I think that the writers were banking on Brad Pitt kind of saving the movie and making it a good movie.
Thank you.
Right.
And I think he fell short.
It was
not Brad Pitt. It was the way the character was written.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. there was so, and the thing that really aggravated me about this movie is, you said it yourself, it's a space adventure. You can do literally infinite things with space. This guy, spoiler alert, obviously, he went to Mars. First he went to the moon. Then he goes to Mars. Then he goes to Neptune.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
You know how far away that is? 19 days?
It's fucking
And we didn't even see the surface of
19
Neptune?
days from Mars.
Right, from Mars. And
Yeah,
it was what?
Not from Earth.
It was what, like 9
No.
days to get to Mars or something like that?
No. From the moon to Mars, I think was 19 days.
No, from Mars to Neptune, it was 19.
I'm
I think it was 17 or something
No,
like
it was
that.
like 70 something.
Oh, it was 79 days
To Neptune.
from
From
Mars to Neptune. You're right. You're right.
You're right.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
But, I mean, well,
And that
fucking
was
whatever.
the best part of the movie. That was the best
Yeah.
part of Brad Pitt's
Yeah.
acting when he lost his mind in those 79 days.
I completely agree.
That was his peak.
I
Yeah.
completely agree. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was all sorts of screwed up. He was losing his marbles because 70-something days alone in outer space. Who are you going to talk to?
Yeah.
What do you got going for you? He pumps the feeding tube in him. He naps, calls it a day.
Yeah.
Floats around.
Yeah.
Whoa. You know, that's it.
Whoa.
And I mean, Brad Pitt is such a phenomenal actor, and this movie did not showcase that at
No.
all.
I was holding out the entire time for a mind fuck. Like a mind fuck
We
moment.
were saying that in the theater. You know what did suck about the acting is that Tommy Lee Jones,
Yep.
Roy McBride's dad,
Yep.
he was only in it for like video
20 minutes.
Well, not even that, I don't think, for like screen time, but he was in it for like literally on like video documentation and just pictures or whatever. And then when it was time for him to act, it was like 10-15 minutes of screen time
Yeah.
of him interacting with Roy McBride, his son. That sucks.
Yeah.
Such a build up,
I
and
wonder
then
how much he got paid.
and then he turns out to be a douchebag.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big.
And it's like it was almost like, what was he there for?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
The ending was kind of anticlimactic. It was just so weird. Like, big spoilers here. The part where Roy's dad was like, "Yeah, I never cared about you or the family." Ah, ha, ha. It was just like
He
I
was
felt
like chuckling about
dude,
it. Yeah.
I felt like I was like fucking watching an episode of Jerry Springer or like
Right.
Maury or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want, if I come to a space movie, I don't want to sit there and watch some kind of like family drama going on. I want action. I want some kind of climax at the end.
And then-
I said it before the movie started. I was like, I feel like this connection the father and the son are supposed to have in this movie is going to make it really weird. And
And you
when
were right.
it came to it, it was really weird.
Yeah.
and I mean,
Really weird.
yeah, it was like so anticlimactic too at that part, in the sense that like his Brad Pitt, Roy McBride, his dad, when he met him, was dissing him and everything and saying, "I never cared about you," and then he was just like, "Come on, I'm taking you home."
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. That's the writing again. He was
Right.
just like, stale bread. No emotion throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
He gets fired up at like one or two scenes. Like, that's like the main purpose of this character is that he always has a low and steady heart rate,
Heart rate.
yeah. And you know, when his own father is telling him he doesn't give a shit about the entire family, and he still doesn't get mad.
He almost
Yeah.
was
Are you
just like-
kidding me? Like, come on, you're telling me that doesn't get you mad?
He almost was just like, "Ha ha ha! All right, come on."
Yeah.
He was like, "Come on, pops. I got some popcorn in the back. Like, let's
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we got some bush lights. Let's have a good time."
Well, here's why this didn't work. I'm not saying that this sort of family drama in movies is always bad. The problem with it in this movie is the movie didn't give us any reason whatsoever to give two shits about the relationship between Roy McBride and his father.
I didn't know who I was rooting for this entire movie.
I was thinking to myself,
You know a movie? Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking to myself, Jesus, Roy cares so much about finding his father. There's some kind of drama going on. Why the fuck should I care about this?